Once a week, usually on a Saturday, we head outdoors and we start our work day usually as a group, and everyone has their individual jobs that they do. We carry on for as long as the kids are willing, and as they tired out, they head it on inside, and John and I carry on the work. And it's something that we've done probably for the past 6 years, and they've grown up with it. The benefit that I see with them is they actually start liking work. It's not a bad thing anymore. It's an enjoyable part of our life. As much as we're able to, we try to take out the need to get the job done to the practice of doing it. And the kids love that. The kids love to do things with their parents very naturally. But it's not fun to do it with the parents when the parents are going, let's just get it done, kids, you know.
Work practice then becomes the idea of taking on work as part of your practice with an attitude of giving and serving, and with as much focus and friendliness and loving compassion as you can possibly bring to bear in your work. That's what work practice is. Why is this day different from yesterday? And why am I and not you or her or it? Why does the pond ripple with the wind, and why does the dog bark at nearly everything, and why is that annoying to me? I write poetry because I can't help it. I've been doing it ever since I was a child. So it seems to be just part of my function of living is to write poetry. So I do it. I surrender to my nature. When I write poetry, I'm really more in communion with reality, with what's on the other side of the poem. So I don't sit down to write a poem about something I know or about something I've experienced. I sit down to write a poem because I don't know. The poetry is the deepest expression of my practice. Why is it music moves me, and why do I nearly cry when someone's selfless for a moment, even in a movie? Why was I born? Why do I live another day? Where did I come from, and where am I going? Why do flies appear suddenly from nowhere, and what do flies think about, or grasshoppers, or fish? Buddha talked about suffering. The obvious suffering, not getting what you want, the suffering of getting what you don't want and not being able to get rid of it, things like that are the obvious kinds of suffering. But really the root of suffering is off balance, impermanence.
I thought when I was little that people naturally wanted to die at a certain age. It just evolved like a flower, and then you die, and it was acceptable. And I heard someone talking about someone that was older and they were dying and they were fighting it. And that terrified me. I was pretty young when I heard that story. And that came back to me then, and I just knew I don't want to be terrified at that moment. But it's going to take some work to get there.
Religious practice helps us to incorporate death as part of our lives, to understand it in whatever human way we can understand it, and to be able to release ourselves to it when the time comes. So it's a very important part of practice. But there is no such thing as death. There's only breathing in once and then breathing out and not breathing in anymore. there's only time, you know. Death is happening every moment, right? Every moment we die to the past moment. It's over, it's gone. As time is passing, that's what time is, right? Time is the dialectic between living and dying. So that means that death is something that liberates our lives and awakens our lives. Because how can we be fresh now if we don't let go of this last moment? Die to this last moment, receive this new moment. Fresh for this new moment because let go of the last one. So our practice is about that, and then when the last moment comes, we're completely alive in that moment. We give up that moment. And the only thing, another one doesn't come. Only human beings can question their being, can question what being is, what it means to be alive. Religious practice is a device. All religious practice, not just Zen, is a device for opening up that question.
Zen, for me personally, gives me a reason to live, and that's pretty important.
I think enlightenment is releasing ourselves to our lives and finally saying to ourselves, yes, I guess this is my life. I guess this really is my life, and what a miracle it is. What a problem, what a perplexity, what a miracle.